Good morning, children. These days, what we are studying? Children at work. And yesterday, I told you what does this mean? What does this children at work mean? Children at work means it is about those children who are at workplaces. Do you think children should be working? No, children should not be working. Children should always, they should be sent to school to acquire knowledge and to study. But there are some what I should say, unprivileged children who are not getting good education and they are being used as laborers, as workers at different places. Yesterday we discussed it all. And then yesterday I had told you about the protagonist or the hero of this story, and his name is Velu. And Velu had run away from his home and he had come to Chennai. In Chennai, you saw that yesterday he met this girl who tried of who kind of tried to help him out. Like, she inquired, does he need any sort of help, and why has he run away, and all sort of she tried to establish a kind of communication with him, which Velu initially does not entertain much, because he had never seen such children who would be so outspoken and who would be taking so much interest in your personal life. Now we will ponder about on the topic why Velu left his home. This is very, very critical, because he left his home, and why children leave their home is something like which you should understand. Now, Velu did not want to share his secret with his stranger girl that he ran away from. He actually did not want to disclose the very fact that he has run away from home, considering that the girl, she may take him as some kind of some kind of habitual offenders or a miscreant, all these things. He did not want her to have this kind of impression, and he could not bear his father's beating. Actually, he had run away from his home because he could not take up that tortured life, that the father used to beat him, and the father used to take up the mother's his mother's money, and he used to drink a lot. His father would snatch all the money which he and his sister had earned, doing all sort of menial jobs, and the father would spend all this money on drinks. So you can very well understand, dear ones, that this was kind of life which he was living in his village. And definitely people cannot bear it for a quite long period of time, oppression or the torture. And we as human beings reach to a certain point where we kind of retaliate, we rebel, we seek to come out of that, that drastic situation. Now, but since Velu had reached to Central Station, Chennai, this girl who happens to meet Velu, she turned out to be a savior, and Velu had no other option than to accompany the girl. So the girl asked about his plan, but he did not answer. Why he did not answer? Because he did not have a reply, and he thought that she was his only hope, and he followed her. But Velu knew that in this strange city he had no acquaintance, not a single familiar face. So in such a scenario, this girl was her only hope. And they walked through the busy streets, big buildings, central jail. The girl was putting, used plastic cups, paper, bottles in a sack, which she was carrying on her back. And Velu could observe this girl. She was continuously doing some work. She was picking up all these kind of plastic things, and she was filling her bag, her sack, with those unused things. Now, Velu sharing his needs. When he felt hunger pinching him, now the hunger pangs, he was getting those pangs inside, and then the girl told him that she can find some food if he wants. Now imagine, dear ones, food is a big problem, in certain section of our society. You would not understand it because you have not been in, in those shoes, because we get 3 times a meal, we have a shelter, we have roof on our top, on our head. But we cannot understand the kind of the pain of these children who actually do not get one-time meal in a day. So when this girl noticed that he is hungry, she tried to help him out. And it was still morning, but Velu's bare feet, they burned as the sun blasted down on the tar. Tar, the road, the road is made up of this substance, okay? And when it is summer, it becomes very, very hot, and he was soaked with sweat. They walked through the busy streets, and they reached an auditorium where a wedding was going on. So my dear ones, the girl wanted to fulfill his desire to have something, and for that matter she took him to a wedding place. Now you would be wondering, are they gonna feed is she gonna feed him in this wedding? No, my dear ones, they are not gonna get anything in this wedding. The used food which people would throw out in their plates, that kind of food would be consumed by these deprived children. So this these three slides, they leave a lot of what I would say, content. They leave us lot of content to think upon and to understand the misery of such children in our society. Can you even believe that we have such children who do not get and who use such used food which you actually send from your houses, and these children, they use it, they eat it, and they share it among themselves. And now tomorrow I will tell you what happens with Velu once he is done with his desire for food. Once he is full, what is his next step, what does he plan for his future? We'll see it in tomorrow's videos. Thank you, everyone.